There's a simple test that you can do, especially as a manager. Anytime you see a proposal, anytime you see a PowerPoint presentation, anytime somebody shares with you or you see a business letter being sent to a customer, you can give it the X's and O's test. It's very simple. All you have to do is print out the document, and every time the letter or document mentions your name, Honeywell's name, any specific products, or say us, we, or our, you cross off the words. Anytime in the letter it has the customer's name or their company name, or you say you or your, you circle the words. And then very simply, all you have to do is count up the X's and O's, and you'll see where the focus of your letter is. What do you think the average proposal? What do you think the balance of X's and O's are for that? It's usually not very pretty. My favorite was I had somebody, it was an adhesives company, they sent me, and it was about a 50-page proposal. I only got through the first 20 pages because I had 120 X's in 3 O's. 2 of them were in the address block. How solutions focused do you think that customer is going to feel if all you do is talk about your stuff and yourself and how great your stuff is? Anybody see that as a problem? But this is how most salespeople sell. It's the bias of their talkers, not listeners. How many of your salespeople have the attitude with a customer, they're saying, okay, look, we've talked enough about me, customer, let's talk about you. Why do you like me? Really haven't changed the intent of the conversation, have we? But look how many people say, okay, now it's getting interactive. And they're still doing all the talking. Sometimes it even gets worse that you don't even mention the customer by name in what you send them. I read letters that say something about, we help the customer do these things. They don't even make it possessive. They talk about the customer like it's a third person. Not you reading this letter. How do we use more you-oriented language in this thing? Let's take a look at your answers for just a moment. Highest business value. If we can have this back up on the screen. Highest business value. Is that an X or an O? That's an X, isn't it? We can put the thing back up on the screen. Relations. X or O? That's an X, isn't it? I don't see any you focus in it. Low risk. Well, that's getting more of a customer focus, isn't it? Credibility. X, isn't it? Life cycle. Did you say the customer's life cycle, or are you talking about your life cycle? Some of you are older. I would have assumed the same thing. Okay, we're not sure, but we'll give that one up. Competitive advantage. That's an X, isn't it? Our people. Industry knowledge. We're not selling, we're solving problems. I didn't hear any words helping in there. Still what you're doing, isn't it? It's your initiation of the process. Your brand. Your plan started up faster. Hey, we got 2, almost 3 zeros. O's. Congratulations. Where's most of the list? How customers focused, how solutions focused is your messaging if we take what you said as a group in this room and assume that since you're the best of the best and you're leading the other people that aren't here, that your answers are representative of your team. How's your team doing? Where's their focus? And look at the problem. See, everybody feels they're customer focused. Everybody feels they're people. Anybody in sales feels they're a people person, and anybody in sales feels they're customer focused. Even morticians feel they're customer focused. People are already dead by then. That's the joke. I'll tell you what, this will be a joke. This will be a significant thought. Will that help you kind of keep the stuff straight here? A little bit of problem, I understand. So the issue or the idea is, how do we improve the language? And this is one of the things of us as a proactive coach. I will share with you a term that I think is one of the most X-focused terms. I think it is hurting your business every day, and I've heard it over a dozen times here since I've been here, and I only arrived yesterday. How many of you have heard the word used by your sales team or you in the last week that you've used the word deal? What's it going to take to close this deal? What deal are you presenting next? What's so offensive about the word deal? Well, let's back up for a second. What industry uses that term the most? When you think of somebody's going to get a great deal, what industry do you immediately think of? It's automotive, isn't it? It's probably not the most exciting part of automotive. It's the slime balls of automotive, isn't it? The people that when you walk into a dealership, the first thing they do is open with a close. You walk in and they say, "Hi, interested in buying a car today?" I walked in recently, I said, "No, should I leave?" It's that power pressure, we're going to make you a deal. If somebody says, "I'm going to give you a great deal," what's your first reaction? Does your resistance go up when somebody offers you that, or does it go down? For the majority of people, it goes up. By the way, do you really want to have your total systems, improving businesses, all the things you do? Do you really want to have your closest companion industry, by the terms you use, be the car industry? The retail sales, used car industry? Is that who you really want to be associated with? But look at the language that's being used. When people use the word deal, it's usually very product biased because that's what they're pitching. That's where the whole focus is. And to a lot of customers, as soon as a sales rep starts using the word deal, most salespeople, most buyers, their resistance goes up and they say, "Oh, I better be careful. I better protect myself here. Something could be wrong here." If somebody keeps talking about what's it going to take to close this deal, we'd love to propose this deal for you, we'd love to help you with this deal, if they're using all that deal language, I don't think that's going to be a consultative trying to help you improve your business with solutions type of environment, is it? But look how often the language is used, because I've heard it here a lot already. One of the things as leaders we have to identify, it's the small stuff, it's not the big stuff that makes a difference. If you go back, how do you feel about this hotel? What a gorgeous facility this is, one of the best hotels in Orlando. When you go back home, I doubt if it's going to be the overall encompassing philosophy of this hotel that's going to impress you. It's going to be the small things, either that were or were not done. How clean were the tables when you came in the morning? How clean was your room when you came back? Those kind of minor things. It's usually the minor things that make the difference to people and define how they view things, not the major things. And part of those minor things sometimes is the language we use. There's another term, and it's really become predominant in North America. I don't know if it's hit your area of the world yet, but it is so devastating to what it's doing to your brand. And I've heard it here at the hotel a dozen times. I ask somebody for help. They give me the help I need. I say, "Thank you for helping me out." What's the answer I get from everybody when I thank them for help? No problem. How often is the term "no problem" used in your market? My favorite was I flew into Madison, Wisconsin, up north here in the States, and it was the middle of January, and it was cold. It was 10 below zero Fahrenheit. What is that, about 1,000 below centigrade? I don't get my math right. It was cold. And I'm coming in a business suit from another meeting, and I'm in the cab, and I get out of the cab, it's just hurting, it's so cold. And the bell person from the hotel comes running out without asking, grabs the bags and says, "It's too cold, follow me," and runs back inside. I was impressed. So we get back inside, I say, "Gee, thanks for helping me." He says, "No problem." I said, "It's a big problem, it's cold out there." He says, "No problem." So I said, "Well, then I guess a tip would be equally offensive." He puts my bags down, turns to me and says, "Now we have a problem." But look what happens. What is happening to your brand? These are the kind of small things we've got to look for as part of this communication. Because if you do something great for a customer and the customer thanks you for it, instead of saying thank you or saying our whole goal is to try to lower your risk and increase your effectiveness or any of those other answers, if I say to you, "No problem," what have I just done to my brand? And what have I just done to my offer of help? The answer is I've neutralized it. All the work you did to get a differential, all the extra added services you put in place in your organization to be able to provide the customer with real solutions that help improve their life and all the other things. But as soon as somebody either uses the word deal or no problem, your value, uniqueness, and your brand start to collapse like a house of cards.